Welcome, and please rise and join me for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Chris, roll call.
Bedifer,
Present.
Kuchar,
Present.
Holstein,
Present.
Yaris, Ravish here, Doobie,
Present.
and Anderson excused.
Well, I guess before we get going, a couple of things. I guess unless you were born before 1957, you witnessed something that nobody's done. The Lions actually winning 2 in a row. So as they say, unfinished business, and we'll see how far they're going to go. I have my theories, these guys heard them up here, but I'm not going to tell you because I start betting. Other than that, I wanted to thank Mark for his time over here. We kind of got busy and stuff. Last meeting, it's going to be a tough spot to fill, and I think for the board, I thank Mark for his time here, his 11 years and on to 12.
Yeah.
He's got the pressure getting shoved on him to end it. So,
Thank you.
anybody else? Okay. Any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda. Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, any community comments on the agenda as printed? Any comments? Okay. Seeing none, Spartan Spotlight.
I have the honor tonight of presenting our Spartan Spotlight to Nathan Uberoff and Heather Arnold, who are two of our nighttime custodians. And they're actually working, and we asked them, and they said they are so swamped right now that they can't get away because there's games going on, and they're filling in, and they're cleaning floors, and they said they would try, but I mean, that kind of shows right there the dedication of them getting their job done, which is why we made these 2 plaques for them. They are responsible for the setup and tear down of our events at the high school when we have them, and in the wintertime, we have 2 to 4 nights a week where there is setup and tear down. So not only are they continuing to clean their rooms and areas and keep everything ready for the morning, they do that as well. And now we have filled another spot, so they will probably get some more help with that. But for the longest time, they've been doing that themselves. And at the events, wherever we're at, they're smiling, they're happy, they're setting up, they're tearing down, they're polite. Sometimes you see people who are in charge of that when there's kids running in between, they get a little cranky. Not these 2. They are great professionals that we have here in our building. We're very happy to have them, and I was hoping they would sneak in so we could give them to them, but we will make sure and give it to them either after the meeting when we see them or tomorrow. So we appreciate all they do.
Okay, the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda and pay bills totaling $758,172.80.
Support. Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Bedifer,
Yes.
Holstein,
Yes.
Kuchar,
Yes.
Yaris, Ravish, yes, Doobie,
Yes.
6-0.
Okay, moves us on to communication, Mr. Qualcheck.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to start with recapping some of the things that we've talked about recently. Insurance at the Linwood Park, we brought that up at a site committee. The Linwood Civic Improvement Committee has taken over the park committee, and they came to us a few meetings ago discussing insurance and ways that they can help their financial needs. Because they have insurance, we have insurance. So I did contact our insurance, and we have liability insurance on everything in that park except for the indoor pavilion, they call it. It's a little seating area. It's not the outdoor pavilion, there's an indoor. They said that if there were organizational games like the Little League or any of the youth that have a league, they would have to have their own insurance. But for the structures, we have liability insurance. Our insurance, like I said, wouldn't cover the game. So I did contact them. They were very happy because they have been paying quite a bit for liability insurance that we already have. So we'll help them out in that regard, and we'll get going on that contract and help them in that way too. So just an update on that. The control house near the west entrance over here by our new soccer field. We talked about this in the past, that it's falling apart. I don't know when it was built or created, but the roof is almost gone. It contains our electricity. It contains the water control systems that go out to the ball fields, that do our sprinkling of the new soccer field. There's water coming in. There's a lot to that, and it's falling apart, so we talked about having someone come and look at it and give us a rough estimate. The rough estimate is around $25,000 to rebuild it, because they said there's nothing that you can keep on it because it's falling apart. But that they would they would continue to look for other ways to get the best they can, but we will have to do the comparable quotes and bring it to you before that's approved. I just wanted to let you know that that is kind of the direction that we're looking at. And right now, if you notice, there's a lot of water around it because the internal well has just been pouring water out. And Mr. Brago from B&B Well said that when the water table comes up, that's going to happen unless we have a drain, and they've been working on that. And I think the $25K included a new drain that would go out to the road as well. So working on that. Just an update, nothing to approve.
It's gonna be the same size?
Same size, yep, with a roof, and there has to be a hatch in the roof open, so if there's ever a new well that goes in, they have to have a crane that drops it in from the top. It can't be a sealed roof, so.
You were talking about doing a storage barn for soccer over there? Is that gonna be incorporated in that area?
No, that would be under the press box, in between the dugouts,
Okay.
is where that would be. Yeah, I wouldn't want,
Down on that end of the field?
yeah. Yep.
Who came and gave you that rough?
Mr. Kerr,
Okay.
Ken Kerr. Any other questions on that? Okay. Strategic goal retreat summary. I just wanted to thank everybody that was there on Saturday. I heard positive comments from some of the people that were there, that they thanked us, and we're happy to be there. It was better than they had thought. Some good work happened, so appreciate all of you being there, and are happy to see what's next. And our rep did tell me that he will compile the information that we made and that we talked about, and then after that we will have a meeting with administrators. He said another close to 3 or 4 hour meeting where we will look at the goals, and the board will approve the goals and the statements and the things that we had, and then we'll put them into action at that meeting. Heating concerns. There have been some heating concerns at Central Elementary, the West Wing. I've talked to Reamer, who put in our units. They are contacting Tri-City Control, so the 3 of us can have a meeting. Right now, we have no control over the heat in that wing. There's nothing on the program that's supposed to be there, and we hear it's because it's water and not steam, and because the units were for something else. And it's like we said, it's less than 5 years old, those units and controls. So
The water instead of steam and the controls, but didn't they put the whole thing in?
2 different companies. Tri-City Controls did the computer program, Reamer did the physical parts, and that's why we wanted to have a meeting together, because it's kind of the finger pointing of this isn't really working. So we have to figure it out one way or another. We have to get it so we can, because last year it was so hot we were opening windows. Now this year it's so cold that we have to figure it out. So that's the plan. And roof decision. The site committee met with Tremco. I met with Hendrick, and I think we're going to talk about it with our site committee report coming up. Both Tremco or Hendrick would help complete the bids and select the best contractor. The site committee will discuss this a little further, And after that discussion, I would hope that the board can approve a company moving forward, and we can start the process to get this job finished over the summer. So I'm excited to get it going and to work with whichever company the board chooses and move on, get that going. That's it. Oh, one other thing, just we had so much going on this weekend, and I know we'll probably talk about it with our youth play, our band students going to All-Star Band, but our youth wrestling, Mr. Penberthy and Mr. Thomas coach our youth wrestling, our elementary and middle school students. And I don't know if any of you drove past here after the retreat, but they were parked from the ball fields in the snow all the way to PJ's, and our over 1,000 people. We had 490 athletes, I think, wrestled on Saturday alone, and then Sunday we had the female tournament. When I talked to the coaches, they said, we couldn't believe how many parents from other schools came up to us and said, this is amazing. Like, your facilities are so great. Like, we should have these more, which it's a lot of stress, a lot of work to have that many people here. But it's great, like we always hear, when people come to our building, our facilities, they're very impressed with what we have, and I want to pass that along to you, that it was a great event, great day, made a lot of money for our youth wrestling, so they don't have to pay as much for everything that they need to do and go to. So it was great. Any questions? Thanks.
We just wanted, you sent that email out about the Great Lakes Bay Region, that Institute for Leaders.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you to do that.
Great. And I thought that, I mean, a lot of the superintendents from the area have done it, and it's all stuff that pertains to kind of this job. I just wanted to make sure you guys were okay with that. Good.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Okay, on to student representative, Ms. Briggs.
Hello, everyone. For the high school student council, this week is Coming Home 2024. Student council has planned activities, including dress-up games, a float building competition, a penny war, and a pep assembly. Coming Home royalty will be crowned on Friday in between the varsity girls and varsity boys basketball games. Coming Home will conclude with the Coming Home dance on Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. in the high school gym. The dance will have a superheroes versus villains theme. For youth wrestling on Saturday, January 13th, the youth wrestling team competed. The following wrestlers placed. First place was Peyton Ciso. Second place, Troy DeArmond, Keyshawn Ford, and Alex Rivard. Third place, Tim Madifer, Flint Harris, Eli Ballard, Brooklyn Haverkamp, Brandon Lee, Eli Swinson, Marie Thomas, Kobe Richard, and Haley Haverkamp. Fourth place, Amalia Richard and Logan Peckham. Senior athletic commitment. On Wednesday, January 17th, Kinsey Jacobs officially signed her letter of commitment with SVSU to run cross-country, indoor track, and outdoor track and field for them starting in the fall of 2020. Kinsey is a 4-time cross-country high school state qualifier and earned an all-state medal 3 years in a row. She is also qualified for the state meet and track and field twice. Kinsey currently holds the school record for cross-country and in track and field for the 1 mile and 2 mile. Class visitor and election official certification. Bay County Clerk Kathleen Zanotti paid a visit to speak with the AP Government and Politics class Thursday. That was Friday. Ms. Zanotti discussed the importance of her job at the local level, including conducting elections in the county. Tomorrow, these same students, along with the AP US History class and a few seniors who need to be recertified, will be attending an election poll worker training at the Pinconning Township Hall with the coordination of Joanna Moran. This certification is good for 2 years, and this will allow these students to actively participate as election workers in the 2024 election cycle.
Thanks. Let's see, administrative staff, Dr. Broad.
All right, so every year, a few times a year, we have our benchmark goals for the beginning, middle, and end of the year. And we have to recertify this right now because our ESSER refunds are in the final stages from the state. So this is more of a reconfirmation that extended continuation of learning plan. So what that does just states on our goals, how we're meeting them, what our extra teachers that we've hired and using those funds for that, but also showing those benchmarks with our state testing. This year, 98B was one of those grants. that they're not requiring us to put those out there for public, but we do have to have that continuation of learning plan out there, just how we would use those funds. So just showing our goals in the handout that I know you received in your board packet. The main two areas are with our ELA and math, and how we're doing that, targeting that, so that intentional intervention with our teachers, that all teachers system supports with both our career professionals, title programs, just getting our kiddos involved. The best thing is that we've had butts and seats, and haven't had to go either virtual for learning, so that's kind of been the best thing so far, that just will show if that were to ever happen again, catastrophic event, that we would have things in place for that, like our Google Classroom, and we would be able to use that virtual platform for our students. Along with that, just coming up February 5th, we have our half-day professional development plan for our district. Morning, kids will be here for school at 11:10, they're dismissed, and then we'll have a working lunch with our entire district, and then do some breakout sessions and then professional development, just be able to be together for the afternoon, just kind of really checking in the teachers.
Board committee, site committee? Oh.
Any other administrators?
Oh,
Back in January, I informed the board that Linwood Elementary is asking for donations from local companies to fund our trip to go to Snow Snake. And we raised enough money, or I guess received enough money to go. So on February 9th, our 4th and 5th graders will be going Snow Snake for the day to do some skiing or snowboarding. We did have 9 companies and 2 families, so 11 total, donated $2,570, which actually put us over the amount needed. So the leftover amount's going to go towards ice skating for K through 3rd grade students. And I will email you a list so I can get something in the paper thanking those companies and families for the donations. So our students were really excited. None of our students have ever gone snowboarding or skiing before, so I know they're really looking forward to that day. And one of our very own teachers, Mr. Sheeran, is going to be coming with us. He used to be a snowboard instructor at Lake Tahoe, so he's really excited for the kids to see him be able to show off his moves while we're out there. And that's all I got.
Kyle. Okay.
So just a couple quick things for me. Second semester is underway. I just wanted to let the board, inform the board that we do have an uptick in our virtual students that are virtual learning. A lot of students are trying to go 21F, are requesting for 21F classes, as well as our diploma program. So maybe in the future we could discuss policy in regards to 21F and what our current policy says, just to kind of pre-plan for this influx of virtual students that we have. For those that don't know, 21F, students that are in high school are allowed to do 2 online classes. So we have a lot of our students, we take them first and second hour, third and fourth hour. Some are only taking 1, but you're allowed up to 2. So we have a lot of students that are taking that opportunity. And there's quite a few of them. So I think that's kind of the future, and I think we just need to plan accordingly for that, along with our home programs. So just wanted to inform the board of that. And staffing needs, we did hire 2 new teachers at the last board meeting. Still open for special education, senior secretary, and a special ed paraprofessional. Still looking for those. So those are some things. That's all I have.
Any idea why the uptick? Is it post-COVID?
There's so many.
Any feedback from the students why?
Kind of brainstorm that. I think that it's definitely more comfortable. I think that online learning has made it's become more comfortable for students. A lot of students are thinking that there's classes that are on the 21F that we don't offer. So if they're going into nursing, maybe medical terminology class on their virtual is an option for them. So there's a multitude of reasons, but I think we should just get together and kind of discuss that, kind of plan for it in the future.
You watch the results to see how that tracks as well, is this uptick?
Yep, we, say that one more time.
You're watching performance on those?
Yeah, oh yeah, yep, our counselor, watches those to make sure the grades are doing good, and they generally do pretty well.
Do you have to have a certain GPA to apply that?
Nope. No, all students, in high school are able to at least apply for a 21F class. There are certain things that maybe it wouldn't be a best fit in, as an educational institution. We can determine that. But for the most part, the kids that are applying meet the criteria for 21F that we currently have in our policy.
I'll go real quick. Just want to announce our Spartan Pride winners for the middle school for last week was Chelsea Overly, Aubrey Gary, Jaden McGorniak, Caden Snyder, Gage Babcock, and Jaden Lee. And then our student of the month for December was announced on the 12th of January. For 6th grade was Bryn Ivy, and she was the overall student of the month for middle school. 7th grade was Blake Haga, and 8th grade was Emma McWhorter. And then today we had a guest, Cassie Fitzgerald, who's the current reigning Miss Michigan Collegiate America. She was also a graduate of Pinconning Schools. She met with all of the ELA classes, 6th through 8th grade today, to discuss her platform, BRAVE, which stands for Building Respect and Values for Everyone. And she basically went into classrooms for about 20 minutes, had a discussion on bullying and read with them. I'm going to get a little bit of feedback, and we've got some pictures, so you can stay tuned to a social media post that should probably be up.
And for you, Jay? Okay, now I guess on to board committees. Site committee?
Site committee met, and majority of the people was listening to a presentation from Tremco. So we're going to have a presentation from Hendricks then to compare it to? No? At what point does this site committee make a recommendation to you? Which
I
to
think
the
we
board?
can tonight from the discussion, unless you want to talk about it.
We did not as a committee. We better talk about it
Okay.
because we didn't talk about it as a committee, but bring in a recommendation.
Budget did though.
Oh, budget did. I was
Budget.
thinking.
Yeah,
I thought
but
we
I
did.
didn't say, we talked about it at budget.
That's what it was. That's why I
We'll
was
see if
thinking.
our recommendations are aligned.
Yes. I thought we
Well, I
can't.
can tell you who I'm not gonna interview.
And then we had a nice presentation from the Booster Club, who is, at no cost to the district, pursuing a new scoreboard for the stadium. We're gonna continue to get updated on that. Nothing needs approval at this time.
The big thing we were talking about was if we're gonna move it, because the spot it's in is directly into the sun. So they're looking at cost effectiveness, and if we can move it somewhere where it's easier to see too.
Right now, it's leaning towards north end, outside of the fence. Between the sidewalk and the fence. Kind of
Yeah.
area. You can visualize that. Before anything happens, I'm sure we're gonna stake it, so everybody go out there and see.
Kind of like straight.
Straight, yeah,
Yeah,
straight down.
yeah, straight down through the end zone. Because the backside would then be advertising for them.
It's gonna be raised. I was just thinking that the handicap parking spots where the people park it, but it's gonna be higher, they'd be able to see underneath it.
Yeah.
I don't know if people do there.
Nothing recommended today, though.
Any questions for the board on? Okay, budget committee then. You?
Okay, at the budget committee, we discussed trying to get our ducks in a row and have money appropriated for roofs and so on and so forth. There's a couple different stages in the roof plans, like something that's immediate need 2 years down or whatever, and we want to incorporate that all in one and get it done now. You know, why wait another year, do it all at once? We have the money there, we're putting this in capital improvements. It'll be there, ready for that. Soccer field project, again, whatever's needed there, we'll have in the capital improvements. Mount Forest project, same thing. It's gonna be there. And to go down under our conclusions, our recommendation is to go with RC Hendrick on the roof.
one thing that we were talking about with Mr. Kowalczyk on it is if we wait, if we wait, it's possible we can't get anybody until 2026.
Right, we gotta get this going now.
So if we didn't approve, we wait to approve someone coming out and looking for bids to do the roof, it could be 26. How much gets destroyed in that amount of time? But if we approved and went out, could seek bids, we could actually have someone here this summer to start on, possibly. And not only that, the amount of money we budget out, we could get some of the better contractors come out.
Yeah.
We wait to the end to get what's left over.
Yeah.
So that was, because it was what, 600 and, what
We
was
were
it?
right around 700,000.
And
on the gross.
we were discussing whether we allotted more.
Stage one or both stages?
Both,
That was
one
both.
and two.
That was both.
That's for both.
I don't know.
Well, I'll do that. I'll make a motion. Okay. We'll wait till that.
Yeah.
Let's not do it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Budget? Okay, then policy.
Oh, I can read those for her. Yeah, they met and read the policies that we're approving tonight. Recommending we adopt.
Legislative things that are mandatory that we have to do.
See Bonnie's on there. She's here. Bonnie?
Yep.
Good.
Anything else?
Okay, discussion with policy. Then on to the non-consent agenda.
Motion to approve the board committees as presented. No possible changes.
Yeah, you making, gonna make some changes.
Nothing in personnel, just who's the,
Just
who's the chair. Mark would be the chair of the site, and Bonnie would be the chair of the curriculum.
we have a motion
Second.
with the changes to the 2024 board committees. You have a second?
Kuchar.
And
Sure. Okay.
all those in favor? Opposed? To the final reading of the Neola policy.
I move to accept the final reading of the new policy updates.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll make a motion to approve Hendricks for our roofing projects for upcoming phase 1, phase 2.
I'll support this.
Make the motion to allow Andy to go ahead
Go ahead for the
with that,
RFPs.
seek the bids. With the amount that you were presented.
Yeah.
What it was.
Somewhere in there, we'll see what they come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you got a motion to support. Is it roll call?
Any discussion? After sitting through the Tremco presentation, I'm all for Hendricks.
That wasn't me saying it.
I have
I
to
said it
say,
for you.
I did not sit through that.
I didn't sit through it and I concur.
Yeah. The
I
information
sat
that
through and I
we-
concur also.
Yeah, yes. So any other discussion?
Yaris,
Yes.
Bedifer,
Yes.
Kuchar,
Absolutely.
Holstein,
Yes.
Rabish, yes, Doobie,
Yes.
6-0.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank Tremco for coming in and offering that.
Okay, so that's done that. Public comments.
Thank you.
Any public comments? Okay. Board discussion, any discussion items?
A while back, policy was talking about administrative phones. Did we ever do anything with that?
No.
Are we going to do anything with that?
we are in, I didn't know if we wanted the contract, we'll be negotiating in a couple months.
Okay.
I didn't know if that was a good spot to get into the contract, so we can talk a little more if we want to decide if that's where it goes. I mean, it kind of has to go in there. That was my plan.
Okay.
Any others?
Yeah, I just want to thank the community and the board members and absolutely the staff that showed up for Saturday's strategic plan. We didn't really kind of know what we were in for. I think it went really well. So I thank Andy and Lydia and Kathy for all the work on it, because we were really behind on a lot of stuff, and they picked up the slack. So I want to thank them specifically for that. So good job, productive. I still think there's some room. We'd love to see how this kind of goes out from what I envisioned. Overall, I think Saturday was really well. So it went really well. It'd be nice to have some more community involvement beyond the staff, but I also kind of worry about too many cooks in the kitchen. It's a lot of discussion and things that we had to decide and kind of come together on. So we had I think 21 or 22 people there. So again, it was good. It was nicely done, good atmosphere, very positive, very cooperative, and I think very informative. So again, thank you much, and well, I'm looking forward to see where we go next.
As well, I'd like to thank Sue and your group for the snacks up here, and for the food at the retreat.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not gonna beat the horse, but these guys have it, that it was great to do. It was nice to see and see the comments and the things that people are on. Well, that will conclude our business. We have a couple closed session, 3 closed sessions. So
Move to go to closed session for student reinstatement.
Or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you all, everybody, for coming out.